Watch till the end to get a special treat. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So in this lesson, we're going to go over elements. Now, what is an element? An element would be a tree, or a buffalo, or a bush, or a cloud, or a mountain, and then you take sign elements and you put them together to make a full scene. So how we would go about making something like this first one here would be, we would go grab some trees. So I have a few thousand trees, but let's just pull in a couple of trees here. Let's pull in a deer maybe. Make that guy a little bit bigger so we can see. And then the only thing that's in this one other than that is a bush. But we'll start with what we got here. So let's just go up here and grab our box tool, and we'll just pull something out like this. Let's say we're making an address sign for somebody. I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to turn this black. So when you first draw a box, it's going to, or a rectangle, it's going to bring up these 3 buttons. So you can grab this top right one and pull it down, and that'll round off the edges of the corners, or you can make it pretty much a slot looking shape. So let's just go ahead and round the corners, because we're going to make somebody an address sign, and they said they wanted a deer on it and maybe a couple of trees, so we're just going to grab the deer, put it on the sign, grab our tree, make it a decent size here that we might like. Now remember when we were talking about groups earlier? This is a group of 12 objects. So with the highlighted, we're going to hold Control, hold down Shift, and hit G. It still says it's a group of 12 objects, so we're going to hit it again, and it says no groups. So now I can deselect this, and when I grab it now, they are all individual trees. Let's take this one. This one looks nice. We'll just take this one, maybe make it a little smaller, make it look like it's in the background back here. And maybe we'll take this one, put it over here. And you're gonna make this however you want, right? And we're just gonna make sure all these little elements are touching our base. Well, and let's say maybe we're happy with that. Something simple like this design here is what we were going for. So we will, well, this tree is kind of like a crappy tree because it says it's a group of 30 objects. So what we would do with that is we'll just highlight it, hold Control, Shift, G, and we'll just hit G until it says no groups. Then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the whole thing like this. Just come up here, go to Path, and hit Union. Now that's one path. This is kind of a crappy tree, to be honest with you. But anyway. This one's a path. This one's a path. The deer's a path. So we're just going to highlight our whole project here. Come up here to Path and hit Union. Now we made that one piece. Now let's say this is an address sign, right? So we are going to go up here to our text tool, and we're just going to type in some address, like a house number. Oops. And with our house number typed out, we'll just go back to our selection tool. Maybe we'll change this to white, so it's very easily seen on our project here. And we're just gonna pull that down to be, whatever size we want for our address sign. We are going to hold shift, or we're going to highlight the letters, we're going to highlight the numbers, hold shift, highlight the backing plate, come up here, we're going to open up our alignment tool, and we're just going to center that left to right. And then we'll go up here to path and hit difference. Now that cut that out. Now, as we know, the center of the 4 is going to drop out. So let's grab our magnifying tool, zoom into the 4, grab our box tool here. We're just going to come down here and draw out a box. Now, remember we rounded the corners of this, and Inkscape remembers that you did that with the box tool last time. So you're going to have to grab that little thing. You're going to have to grab that little handle and move it back up so that the corners are sharp. Come down here and change that to whatever color you want so that you can see it easily. Grab your selection tool again, and just like in our previous lesson, we're going to grab this, we're going to put it where we want it, hold down shift, select our backing, come up here to path and go to union. That welded it in there. Then we're going to double click, highlight these nodes, and hit delete so that line is nice and square again. Hit our minus key to zoom out, and there is our simple address sign, much like this. So let's get rid of all this. Let's try something a little more complicated like this one maybe. So how we're going to start that is we'll grab our box tool, we'll just make a line. And now remember, my drawing board here, my art board here is 24 inch by 24 inch, so that's quite wide. We'll go down here and we'll grab some elements that we like. Now we got a nice deer on that one. We got some pine trees. Let's pull in a couple of our different pine trees that we got. And we got some mountains. So let's just pull in a mountain that we might like. Grab the selection tool so we can move these around so we can see what we're working with here. And then we got some clouds. So we'll go to our cloud folder. And over time you'll get, you'll draw these up yourself. I mean, this is just a bunch of circles and ovals that I've drawn out and skewed to look like a cloud. And once you get good at this, you'll be able to do those things pretty easy as well. You'll gather a collection of these over time, I'm sure. Or you can go over to my website. I sell collections of these things. And then we got a sun. So let's just maybe we'll just move all these off our drawing board to get kind of a clear vision of what we're starting with here. So we got our mountain. Let's just put our mountain down there. We'll grab some trees, put some trees on it, and maybe we'll turn this to black. Grab some more trees over here. We'll just make them a little bigger. Might just grab our deer, throw it in here. This isn't quite black. I'm going to turn that black. It's a little distracting. So let's just make our deer, kind of big like this one. Maybe we want it facing the other direction. So with it highlighted, I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to mirror that. Maybe I'm going to mirror the mountain too, because I think I'll like it the other direction a little better. Maybe we'll swap these trees around too. You know, maybe just something like that. Then this one has a little loop of a sun, so how we're going to do that is we're going to grab our circle tool, we're going to hold control down, and when we pull that out, if we hold control, it'll keep it a circle. If you don't do that, it'll go all kinds of directions. But if you hold control, it will stay this, it will hold the circle shape. So pull that out, you know, to a decent size. Grab your selection tool, make sure your circle is highlighted. Come over here and right click and hit duplicate. We're going to come down here, we're going to change that to a different color. Now holding control, we're just going to grab, or actually holding shift will grab the end, and if you hold shift down, it shrinks and grows it from the center. So we're just going to do something like that. Hold down shift and highlight the other circle so they're just both circles are highlighted, nothing else. Maybe we'll pull it up over here so you can see what we're doing. So just those two things are highlighted. We're going to come over here, we're going to go to path, and we're going to hit difference. Now that made our little circle. Now we don't want the whole circle, right? Because that's not going to work very good. And maybe we want it a little smaller, something like this maybe. So in order to get rid of the parts of the circle that we don't want, I'm going to deselect everything. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to come back to my box tool. And with the plus key, I'm going to zoom in to our circle. And actually, I'm going to select the circle. I'm going to turn it a different color. I'm going to turn it red. That way we can see it really good. Deselect everything. Accidentally drew a little box there. Just delete that. So go back to your box tool. Grab a different color, and we are just going to draw a line about that big. Grab your selection tool, pull it down, and the only thing that we're trying to do here is make sure that this covers the entirety of this. So just hit right click, hit duplicate, come over here down below where you want it. So we have both of those correct, right? So with everything deselected, you can select this one, hold shift, select that one, and now they're both selected. Come up here and go to combine. That turns them into one piece. We're going to put them back where they were. Holding shift, we're going to select our circle, and we're going to go to path, and we're going to go to difference. Now you see that cut that. Now deselecting everything, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here so you can see. So with everything deselected, just double click it, bring up your nodes, and see it brings up all the nodes on the bottom half of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete the bottom half of this out of there. That's what we're left with. So back to our selection tool. I'm going to select a red circle, turn it back to black, zoom out a little bit, and now we're getting a little bit closer. You see that? Then there's a couple of clouds in here, so let's just put some clouds. Maybe you want them stretched out. You know, change the shape of them however you see fit. You know what I mean? This is yours, so make it your own. We'll just put some clouds in here. Maybe we want to see the deer's legs a little bit better. You know, and you can do this with however you want. I might have chose a different deer for this design, but you can even stretch him out a little bit and make him a little bit bigger of a buck. And maybe you want to make this one an address sign. So what we would do is we just come down here and do the same thing we did with the last one, right? Grab your selection tool. I might make this a little bit bigger just so it looks a little nicer, I think. Stands out a little bit better. Double click that to bring up the tool, the little handle to round the corners, and then just grab your selection tool here. We're just going to highlight everything. and go path, union. Now that's one piece and it'll cut out. There's a little bit more to this than what we're doing. You just put the text in like you did last time. But on this particular one, I might zoom in here and double click it and bring up these nodes and just highlight these ones that have little holes and just kind of get rid of some of those that are just kind of straggling out on the bottom like that. Just zoom out. I just think that will cut out nicer and it'll look nicer in the end. Then we might come up here and grab our text tool and just type out our address. Type out your address. I live in Utah, so everybody thinks Utah addresses are weird. I think everybody else's addresses are weird. I don't understand how you can find 14 Jesus Street and 3rd Road. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Colorado's like that. Lived there once. Drove me nuts. If it wasn't for GPS, I wouldn't have found shit. Anyway, so we're going to change that a different color. Grab our selection tool here. Shrink this down to an appropriate size. And let's say we want that not taller, but we want it wider. So we would come up here and uncheck our aspect ratio lock button. And we can stretch this out to, to make it look how, more like what we want. So we might just highlight that whole thing, center it, come up here to path, hit difference, and then there's you a pretty nice, quick looking address sign. And you can shoot this over to your customer. You can put this up on Etsy to sell for yourself. I mean, there's lots of different ways to do this. And that's about all there is to that. I hope all that makes sense to you. Let's move on to the next lesson.
What if I told you that mastering CNC plasma sign design and becoming a master at sales and marketing your work doesn't require expensive software or years of experience? You don't need to be a tech wizard. You just need the right tools, the right tutorials, and a proven step-by-step roadmap. I built my CNC plasma business from the garage with a 2-foot by 2-foot plasma table up to a 5,000 square foot full-blown metal fab shop, and now I'm giving away the exact tools and pathway to how I did it. Inside is all of the information I wish I had when I first started 7 years ago. This includes a free Inkscape drawing tutorial video set that teaches you how to draw, design, and prep your files for plasma cutting like a pro, start to finish. And I'm also unlocking access to our CNC Plasma Sales Masterclass, where you'll learn how to turn your hobby into a full-blown, profitable business. When you click the link below, you'll get instant access to our step-by-step Inkscape training, ready to cut SVG sign files, our plasma sign pricing calculator, a free QuickBooks Masterclass to track your sales, our complete CNC plasma business roadmap, and my exclusive member-only content that I will never post on YouTube. Inside, you'll find tons of downloadable files and private video lessons waiting for you. If you're ready to stop guessing, if you're tired of endlessly searching YouTube, and ready to finally build a CNC plasma business that pays you what you're worth so that you can go full-time and quit your day job, you can escape the rat race just like I did, and I'm going to show you how. Click the link below in the description, sign up for free, and I'll see you inside.